Dusk in Moscow, a statue of Lenin looking over the city, and took all those down, but apparently not that one. That's just outside the Luzhniki Minor Sports Arena. Of course, when you talk about Luzhniki, most Canadians think of the arena where Paul Henderson scored the famous goal in 1972. That's just across the street from where Team Canada is playing the Finns today. Canadian coach Stan Butler, a keen student of hockey history. In fact, he took his players on a tour of the old arena yesterday. Before today's game against Finland, Stan had a chance to visit with our Paul Romanek.
So heading into this one, you look back in the game against Belarus, and it was a walk for Canada, as many people expected it should be. Does the tournament really start with this game here?
Well, I think today's our first true test. It was good to get the Belarus game out of the way and allow a lot of the players that haven't been in international competition before to get some of that experience. But there's no doubt the Finns are a great team. We saw them play last night. They battled back. They're very competitive, and we'll really find out exactly where we stand and where we need to go on this journey by the end of today.
What are you going to do shortly when you're out there on that ice behind us to try to defend against what a lot of people call the stretch pass, or that long bomb that the Finns and the Russians particularly like to use?
Well, we just got to make sure that they don't get behind us and get easy breakaways and things like that. So we've just got to be aware of that. And we worked on it yesterday in practice, and we're confident that we can deal with it.
I know you had a chance to walk around Luzhniki with the guys yesterday after practice. Obviously, you're finding a bit of time to enjoy yourself. I mean, that's a museum.
Well, it's to us, it's you know, it's for anybody that loves hockey in Canada, it is the museum. It is the #1 place. I mean, that's where in 1972, according, you know, to our century, it's the greatest feat in hockey, and it was just great to walk around there and see the place, and it hasn't really changed much, and it really gives you an idea of the atmosphere that's been there, and just to stand where, you know, Paul Henderson put that winning goal and was, I think, a great feeling for our players as well as our coaching staff.
Well, I got to ask you that one more thing before. Did you actually stand right on the spot and hold your arms up and get the picture taken?
I had to say yes. Yeah, we did that with a lot of the players. So, I mean, it was just, it was a fun thing to do. And we actually even went into the dressing rooms where the Canadian team changed when they were there. And it was really good. I mean, the kids were really excited about it. We've talked a lot about that series with them, and I think it really gave them a sense of appreciation of what those great players for Canada went through in 1972.
Hey, you know what? It may be a little embarrassing for the photo, but you wouldn't be Canadian if you hadn't gotten that done. Thanks for your time, Stan.
Anytime, Paul.
If you'd like to read more of Stan's thoughts, be sure to check out his daily diary on the Canadian Hockey website. That's canadianhockey.ca.
Kind of a funny story. I went on a trip to Moscow with a group in 1979 when it was the old Soviet Union. And of course, all the kids, especially the boys, wanted to see Luzhniki, and the tour guide gave us a very firm yet. They didn't consider that quite the shrine. That
not a museum.
No, it's not a museum for them, just another hockey rink. First of all, let's talk about Canada against Belarus. The 9-0 win was obviously big. The first line scored 5 goals. That's good, and I guess it could also be bad.
Well, the good news in the Belarus game was that the first line did get the 5 goals, but the other guys like Rafi Torres, Mike Zigomanis with 3 assists, Jason Spezza with a goal stepped up, and that's what Canada's going to want to get against the Finns. That first line with Mike Camilleri, Jamie Lundmark, and Danny Heatley looks to me like it's going to score goals no matter who it plays against. It's an obvious explosive first line. But for Canada to have success in this tournament, they've got to get goals from Rafi Torres and Brad Boyes and Brandon Reed, that second line for Team Canada, as well as the third offensive line, or the fourth line on the team, with Steve Ott, Jason Spezza, Zigomanis, and Jarrett Stoll, the 4 guys, Zigomanis being the 13th forward, but getting lots of ice time, subbing in for different players here and there. We should point out that the official scoring, Rafi Torres has only 1 goal for Canada, even though he clearly scored a goal in the third period. It was given to Mike Zigomanis. We should point out, too, that one of the Canadian feelings in this tournament and in other World Juniors has been that you treat the Finns very much the same way you treat the Swedes, that you can disturb them by playing physically against them, and Stan Butler really feels that that's the case with Finland this year. Well, the Finnish defense is not overly big, and that historically hasn't been the case. There have been some big defenders for Finland in the past, and very tough as well. And this Finnish team obviously has some grit and some bite. They play a game not dissimilar to the Canadian style, but they do have a smaller defense this year. And Stan Butler is hoping to take advantage of that by playing the game down low in the offensive end, beyond the hash marks, do a lot of cycling the puck. And while Team Canada is not overly big, maybe not as big as they have been in other years, they still think they can take advantage of the Finns down low and be physical with them and get that cycle game going and take advantage of that. All right, and we are about 15 minutes away from the start of the Canada-Finland game. And when we come back with our coverage of the World Junior Hockey Championship, we'll feature one of Canada's top players in this tournament, Danny Heatley, when we come back.
two lifelong friends.
You rode here from Texas?
Yes, sir. The adventure of a lifetime.
I know the old man likes you. That don't mean he's gonna set still for you courting his daughter.
Just became
Fixing to get me in trouble.
You are in trouble.
a fight for their lives.
I knew it'd come to this.
Don't go down there.
Matt Damon.
I'm gonna make it right.
You make bad trouble for yourself.
You start that trouble you never even heard of.
All the Pretty Horses. Now in theaters everywhere.
Pizza? Dude, we're gonna be late. Relax.
Down there. Get soggy, man.
Trust me. Uh-huh.
No way.
Yes way.
All right, we'll see.
Microwave pizza, new from McCain, with a special microwave disc. Real crispy, real fast.
Okay, so it worked. Don't act like you invented it.
Esquire Watches and the Canadian Hockey Association are proud to bring back a program dedicated to the development of minor hockey in Canada. $1 from each Esquire watch sold between October and March will go directly to the sponsorship and growth of Canadian minor hockey. Hit tsn.ca/ESQ or canadianhockey.ca for details. Tell us about your team of superstars and they can join in the growing list of teams to say... Esquire!
See it. Live it. TSN.
My hat's pink, my curling shoes are pink, and my phone is pink. My favorite color's pink. My name is Shorty Jenkins, and I make ice. Dave, you want to take the hand scraper start? First thing do I ask somebody where the closest Tim Hortons is.
What's in town is in here every morning, early.
Well, I flood the ice, and then I go to Tim Hortons. And then I come back, flood the ice, and then I go back to Tim Hortons. Extra large double-double, please. I go back and forth all day long. It's the best coffee I've ever had.
Shorty's Ice is by far the best ice in Canada, probably in the world.
Really? The cha-cha?
Yes. Foxtrot.
Foxtrot.
And I also like to dance. She's danced everybody else but me, and I'm very upset. This is where I'm most comfortable, right here, making my hot coffee. Yes, it's good. Really instantly warms up my hands. If there's a Tim Hortons in town, I'll guarantee you you're going to have good days.
Just over 10 minutes away from the start of the Canada-Finland game in Moscow. That is Moscow University at dusk in Russia. When Danny Heatley, the Calgary native, decided to go to the University of Wisconsin, he was only following in his father's footsteps. His dad, Murray, was a standout for the Badgers in the 1970s and went on to play in the World Hockey Association. But for young Danny, the NHL beckons. He was the second overall pick of the Atlanta Thrashers in last year's NHL draft. And after playing for Canada last year, he's delighted to be back at the World Junior.
Ever since you're 5 years old, you want to play for Team Canada, and when you're watching the World Juniors all the time when you're younger, and when you're actually there, it's pretty unbelievable.
It's been quite a year for Danny Heatley. Last year at the World Junior Championship, he was a member of Canada's bronze medal team. Then in June, in his hometown of Calgary, he was taken second overall in the NHL draft.
With our first pick in the 2000 entry draft, the Atlanta Thrashers select from the WCHA University of Wisconsin Badgers, forward Danny Heatley.
It was in Calgary, like I said, and I had about, I don't know, a couple hundred people there, and it was just great. It was a relief once your name gets called, and just walking up to the podium, just unbelievable.
After being picked by Atlanta, Heatley decided to return to the University of Wisconsin for a second year. He has 12 goals in 20 games and hopes his decision will help his development as a player.
We talked about it with Atlanta and with Wisconsin, and I just felt that I wasn't ready to leave yet. I felt I needed another year of development at Wisconsin, and I just love being there, and hopefully I can be ready to make the jump next year.
Heatley is one of 8 players returning from last year's bronze medal winning team. Scoring twice in last year's tournament, including one in the bronze medal shootout against the U.S., Heatley knows what his role is on this year's club.
My job's still going to be to score goals and put up points, but I think as being a second-year guy, I think you got to come back and kind of assume a little bit of a leadership role and help the younger guys, and
along with the other 7 guys, I think we've been through it before, and we kind of know what to expect, so we're going to try and help out the younger guys.
Danny's going to be a player in this tournament that no matter what other teams do, they're going to have difficulty stopping him. But he's just going to be a man on a mission who knows how to generate offense.
For us to have success at this tournament, Danny has to score goals. Danny Heatley's a goal scorer. He's been a goal scorer through his whole career, junior A hockey, college hockey. So we expect Danny to be a guy that's going to lead us, one of the players to lead us offensively.
At 19 years of age, Heatley knows that his hockey future is still ahead of him, but this is his last chance to represent Canada at the World Junior. And he relishes the opportunity to put Canada at the top of the medal podium.
We were close last year, and coming home with a goal this year would put a cap on this year and be unbelievable.
Just an aside, in the 1970s at Wisconsin, the Badgers were led by Heatley and Winchester. That was Murray Heatley and Gary Winchester. Now they're led by Heatley and Winchester. That's Danny Heatley and Brad Winchester, who played against Canada for the U.S. in last year's World Junior Tournament. But to a lot of people's surprise, including Danny Heatley's, Brad Winchester was not invited to play for the U.S. in this year's tournament. For more now from Moscow as we get set for the game between Canada and Finland, let's take you back to Paul Romanuk and Gary Green.
Well, thanks, Gord. I know you'll have a pretty good seat, you and Bob McKenzie watching this one. Ours isn't bad either, and we hope that yours at home is the best of all of them. Well, for Canada heading into this tournament, Stan Butler designated a scoring line, a line he wanted to lead the way offensively with a team that he feels has a more dynamic and skilled attack than the team did 1 year ago. And I tell you what, in the first game, it was the line of Jamie Lundmark, Danny Heatley, and Mike Camilleri that came through big time for Canada. Look at the hands on Heatley. Watch him get in tight and then roof it. That is a pair of scorer's hands. And Michael Camilleri, a player many people had not heard of. He plays in U.S. college, but coming into this tournament, he's determined to make a name for himself. He picked up the hat trick. And Jamie Lundmark, the third member of this line, also with 3 assists.
Well, both of those wingers talked an awful lot yesterday about Jamie Lundmark. He's been converted to center ice on this line. He has, without question, shown his passing capabilities, his anticipation, his abilities to find his wingers. They then showed the abilities to finish off.
Now, this Finnish team have a few notable returning players. Jani Riita, one of them, a 13th overall pick to Edmonton back in 1999. He's a sniper, but also a couple notable players who could go in the first round of the upcoming NHL draft, one of whom, well, you'll recognize the last name anyway, Mikko Koivu. He is the kid brother of Montreal's Saku Koivu. The first thing you'll notice is that he's bigger.
6'2", 176 pounds. He's definitely bigger than Saku Koivu is. And many people in Finland right now that have followed the careers of both of these players talk about the fact right now that Mikko is better at this age than Saku was. And that says an awful lot because we all know how good a player in the National Hockey League Saku Koivu has turned out to be.
Canada is always tested by Finland. In fact, the last time that these two teams played a game in this tournament that was decided by more than 2 goals was 1994, so expect a big test for Canada. Gord?
All right, thanks very much, guys. You really are nitpicking when you criticize Canada in a 9-0 victory over Belarus, but one concern Stan Butler had and the players had was 5 consecutive penalties in the second period. In fact, Canada spent half of the second period shorthanded, killed off 12 Belarusian power plays.
And it's one thing to do that against the Belarusians. It's another thing to do it against the Finns, where the skill level and the depth of offensive talent is a lot better. Canada has to stay out of the penalty box, and that's difficult at times because Canada wants to play an aggressive physical game with a lot of forechecking. And unfortunately, in international hockey, quite often the harder you hit somebody, the more likely you are to get a penalty. And those aren't always penalties, at least not in the conventional terms of what we're used to in North American hockey, but they are at the World Junior Tournament. And that makes it very difficult to find that balance of being aggressive and physical, but staying out of the penalty box.
And as we get set for the game, a lot of Canadian families looking on, and there's a family member for Finland watching as well in Vancouver. Saku Koivu of the Canadians getting set to watch his baby brother in action. Canada and Finland coming up next.
The World Junior Hockey Championship, brought to you by the Royal Bank Financial Group, by Nike, by Esso, a proud sponsor of the Canadian Hockey Association and hockey throughout Canada, and by Air Canada.
This may be the best thing you watch all night. Crown Royal. Yes, it's that smooth.
get the power of 3, the Intel Pentium 3 processor.
Well, this is it, Bill. The final stone for Al Gilchrist. He is 2 down in the 10th. Packer, line 3. Eddie. Needs to put this one right on the button. Nice body extension. Good weight. There's the hit. And there's the roll. Now that, folks, that is a great shot. He rolled the center line brilliantly.
Introducing the new Nikon F65. So lightweight and easy to use, you'll never fear SLR photography again.
Sometimes you look me so hardly. You make me feel like a strong man. But now you're looking me over. 'Cause I'm a man and you know how to watch.
Look with moderation. Tissot, hypnotic suggestion.
It's as digital as documents get. Digital copiers, network printers, color imaging. Kyocera is where documents are going.
A Kyocera Document Solutions company.
I challenge you to a little one-on-one. Try Rayovac. If you don't think they're as good as the other guys, you get your money back. You can't lose. I like that.
For breaking sports news, highlights, and exclusive features, check out Canada's #1 source for sports, TSN Sports Desk. Jim Van Horn keeps you in the know with all the daily happenings in the world of sport. Sports Desk with Jim Van Horn, weeknights on TSN.
See it, live it. TSN.
The World Junior Hockey Championship, brought to you in part by Chevrolet, safe and fun hockey. By Molson Canadian, it's a Canadian game. And by Microsoft eSolutions, where you get your ideas is your business. Where you get solutions is ours.
And welcome back. We are just underway, 12 seconds into the game, and Stan Butler's Canadian team, the visiting team today, they are in white, and starting in goal, Maxime Ouellet. This is his job to lose. He will be the man all the way through for Canada. And at the other end in goal for Finland, a bit of a surprise. We'll take a look at him in a moment. That's Kari Lehtinen, the 17-year-old who starts this game. Ari Ahonen is the more well-known of the two. He was a New Jersey 27th overall pick in '99. This is Camilleri coming in for Canada. Rebound comes back, and Heatley just fired it high and wide. This is Thomas Filman on the way back for Finland. Long shot. Filman could go in the first round of the upcoming NHL draft. Puck flicked up along the boards and picked up by McCarthy. Up to Jaspers. Jaspers turned the puck over there. Hämäläinen gets it up and ahead. Hämäläinen trying to come in. Number 18, he darts into the corner. Now what you'll notice immediately from the Belarus game is that Finland can move a little quicker. Here's Heatley. Gets it up along the boards. Now Lundmark takes a look. Jaspers taking in down the left-hand side, angling up there, but that will be an icing call against Canada.
Well, there's no question Kari Lehtinen is a surprise. However, this guy just turned 17 years of age. He's not eligible in the draft till 2002. But at 6'2", 176 pounds, they consider him to be their goaltender of the future. And in the under-18 tournament, he virtually stole the gold for Finland.
Well, I wonder about Ahonen, because last year he did not start against Canada either. It was Niittymaki who got the start, and I wonder if maybe there's some thought, puck bouncing around in front of Ouellet, some thought that perhaps Ahonen's style is not as effective against North Americans. McKenzie throws it across, and another offside call on Canada.
Stan Butler was considering doing some line matchup tonight, but he then changed his mind. Instead of using a checking line, McKenzie, Morissette, and Jaspers, He decided he wanted to get his team into this game early, keep the momentum from the Belarus game, and let them roll over.
Now, if you haven't noticed already or read about it, there is an IHF rule about how quickly they will drop the puck between whistles. You have an average of, about 17 to 19 seconds to get whatever you're going to get done if you're a head coach.
That's at best you're going to get that amount of time. They are very quick, and we'll explain that in detail a little bit later.
Puck rolls up towards the corner. Sanoma after it. Trying to get it along the boards. Here's Boyce. Fires it in deep. Rafi Torres was swinging in on the left-hand side. And the puck comes back out. Here's Popovic. Gets it across for Schultz. Malamivara for Finland. Gets it up around the board. Schultz tapping it back in. Reed up there looking for it. And Torres as well for Canada. And Torres doing what he likes to do, and that is take the body along the boards. He's also a pretty good offensive player. Mantala steps in over the blue line for Finland. Tries to fire one. It gets tipped up over the glass.
Well, for Canada's forward lines, we've talked an awful lot about their top line, Lundmark's line, but the line I just mentioned, Jaspers, McKenzie, and Morissette, they're supposed to be the checking line, but not just a defensive checking line, folks, a forechecking line as well. Somebody to go out and get the momentum going for them. Jackman, back in defense, is heavily relied on, as is McCarthy, their veteran blue line.
McCarthy with the puck now. He's paired out there with Bomeister. And Spezza, Ott, and Stoll out there for Canada. Bomeister clears it in. The rebound bouncing out. Rolls around. Picked up. Looking is Stoll. Gets it around back for Spezza. That just rolled away from him. Back for Ott. Ott and Spezza play on a line together in Windsor, so they're pretty comfortable with one another in terms of anticipating what may happen when one another has the puck. Puck knocked up towards the goal. That was Rita pulled down. Puck rolling around. Ruutu after it. Now it's Ott. And Ott, who fills a great role as an agitator back in the Ontario Hockey League with Windsor, clears the puck up over the glass and out of play. We are back in a moment.
This is how you exterminate a bat!
Batman, this is Karen Boyd from OnStar. I got a signal your airbag went off. Should I send for an ambulance?
Everything's fine. Send the police to 4th and Main.
I'll contact them right away.
You'll never learn.
OnStar, how can I help you, Batman?
Dan Butler felt that, yes, Ruutu and Koivu's line were both good offensive lines, but he thought that the Finns, after watching them last night, had lots of balance on all four lines.
They played their opening game last night against Switzerland. They ended up winning the game by a score of 3-2. Switzerland, however, the early story in this tournament, the Swiss got off to a great start by tying the Russians in their first game and then lost by 1 to Finland last night.
And when you took a look at Kari Jolinen's defense there, and he is the head coach for this Finnish team, Tero Mata, who's a 19-year-old, he'll be 20 on January the 2nd. He was San Jose's first-round draft choice in 2000. He's strong, he's talented, he's a good defensive defenseman, and he's also got good offensive capabilities.
Hughes for Canada. Gets it over to Jackman. And Jackman turns the puck over there to Rita. Rita dropping it back now. Ruutu. Stick handles towards the boards. Hughes over to make him pay, or trying to. Ruutu. Good job there to fight him off. Gets the puck back. Tikkanen with a shot. That was blocked in the way through, and Jackman will start it back the other way for Canada. This dumps it in deep. Heatley trying to get up after it. Camilleri. Can't get away from Paukkinen. Kukkonen gets it up along the boards. Puck rolls back now. Camilleri trying to get it across in front. It is grabbed and held by Lehtinen.
Okay, so from the time, folks, that whistle blows, then the referee signals to both benches. They have 10 seconds in order to make their changes. From that point onwards, then, the linesman dropping the puck will give them 5 seconds in order to get set before he drops it. If they're not set, he's going to drop it anyway.
We have seen quite commonly, actually, in the first few games, Teams not even being finished their changes before the referee drops the puck, i.e. a guy's off the bench, but the defenseman, for example, not in position, and the puck will still get dropped.
Canada coming out to start the third period in the Belarus game weren't even all to the bench before they dropped the puck for the opening face from the third period.
Salmelainen hustling up there after it for Finland. Gets it along the boards. Koivu works it down, bouncing around. Salmelainen after it. Puck comes back out, cleared back in by Mantala. Hämäläinen. Jaspers working him over along the boards. Hämäläinen gets it back over. Mantala carries the puck in, gets in deep, and play whistle down. A penalty coming up, a hooking call. Mantala trying to fight his way in there. He's the quarterback on the Finnish power play and a very skilled small defenseman. And he forced Canada into the penalty there.
In fact, they think that he is probably their best defenseman on most nights. And last night, they assumed he would be, and he was. He's small in stature, 5'8", 172 pounds. But yet he forced Canada into taking a penalty against him.
So it is Finland on the power play, and Mantala, number 8, is the right point man. He's the quarterback of the power play. Ruutu moving up there looking for it. Filman also out, along with Rita. Bomeister and McCarthy are back in the blue line, and the other two penalty killers out for Canada are Reed and Jaspers. That's Jaspers out there high. Puck moved across. Now down low for Rita. Looking out in front, Filman was in the slot. Tikkanen chops it up ahead. Rita gets it back out. Filman fired a bullet. He got rid of it quickly, and the puck wasn't sitting for him. And thus, his aim was not true. He hit the side of the net. Here's Rita trying to get in tight. Centers it out in front. Filman works it across. After it now is Ruutu. Good pressure here by the Finns as they work it around in the power play. Filman gets it down low for Rita. Tried to get it back out for Filman. Canada still can't clear. McCarthy had the chance there. 59 seconds left in the Finnish power play. Ruutu gets it back. Filman trying to drive it on goal. It's knocked down, and hustling across center for Canada and clearing it in was Brandon Reed. Canada just needed desperately to change up the penalty killers.
Talk about the quickness of the game, but the Finnish power play is extremely quick on their give and goes, and they got a couple of shots away.
Comes up and across. Hämäläinen after it. Hämäläinen scored the winning goal for his team last night against Switzerland in their opener. Koivu trying to jab the puck loose. It's drilled up and around the boards by Hemhus, and it comes out. Kukkonen being chased there by Ott, who will just turn away from the play. 15 seconds left in Finland's power play. We played 6:55 of the opening period. It is 0-0, Canada and Finland. Kukkonen clearing it in, and the puck bounces to Barrett Jackman, who clears it outside the blue line. Penalized player McKenzie prepared to step back on for Canada. He does, and the teams are at even strength. Koivisto bouncing it up towards the corner. Camilleri looking for it. Knocks the puck down. He had the hat trick in the opening game for Canada, and he gets it up there quickly to Lundmark. Ahead for Heatley, pulled away from Hen. And Finland on the transition coming back. Kukkonen clearing it back into Canadian territory. Lundmark back after it. Scurries it around to Nick Schultz. Haukkinen tries to clear it in. Offside called on Finland. You're watching the World Junior Championship on TSN.
Gatorade wants you to be a player. Go online and play Gatorade Game Day Hockey. Log on at GatoradeCanada.com. Pick your weekly games and your favorite players. Then sit back and cheer on your team. All entries are entered for a chance to win a Star Choice elliptical satellite dish and a receiver with 3 months platinum programming and free installation. Or weekly Gatorade prize packages. Be a player and get into the game with Gatorade Game Day Hockey. Brought to you by Gatorade, the official sports drink of the NHLPA.
Played 7 minutes and 40 seconds in this first period. It is 0-0, Canada and Finland.
For people who have been talking about speeding the NHL game up, they should watch this.
I mean, it's tough from a TV point of view because you can't get in all the replays and analysis that you'd like to. But from a fan's point of view, it's great because it moves it right along. You don't get delays, guys fiddling around with equipment, going to the bench, coaches delaying their changes.
No, the players love it too, Paul. It just adds to the speed of the game, no question about it.
Well, the National Hockey League should look long and hard at it. There are a lot of games that are over 3 hours long in the NHL. Schultz clears the puck in. Haukkinen back to pick it up. Steps quickly to center and dumps it in deep to Canadian territory. Baumeister back there. He'll pick it up. Works it up and around and trying to come out is Zigomanis. Zigomanis played a strong opening game for Canada. Tried to hit Ott with a pass there, but it was broken up. Kelkinen clearing it across. Here's McCarthy. Gets it up ahead. Spezza. Zigomanis zips the puck in. Ott coming up after it. Now here's McCarthy. Zigomanis is with him. McCarthy knifes a shot wide of the goal. That'll skip up and around and out. Baumeister back there to pick it up. And being angled back into his own end by Kelkinen. Ruutu just throws it across. And the Finns changing in the fly. McCarthy will start it back for Canada. Played 9:08 in the opening period. 0-0, Canada and Finland. And the puck bouncing in. A knuckleball bounced and flipped up. And Lehtinen almost caught flat-skated.
Well, that gave him a little bit of a thrill very early. We talk about the speed of this hockey game. The players yesterday during the practice were talking about how quickly they drop the puck. The scouts have been talking about the same thing. They said you have to take shorthand in order to write your notes here during a game.
Yanni Arita flipped it up ahead. Philman coming through the seam, couldn't hold on to the puck. Jackman angling him there towards the boards. Niskala moves it up. Philman was all alone in front there momentarily, but Rita couldn't get it out to him. Torres along the boards. Gets it to the line, knocked down. Mantilla works in, winds up, shooting. Big stop, rebound, another shot and another save by Ouellette. Back-to-back big stops from the Canadian goaltender. Long pass up ahead. Torres was away, but he couldn't knock down the pass. He'd moved up over center ice. Again, there is no center ice red line for the purpose of that long bomb offside pass, or what normally would be an offside pass. And Torres almost the recipient of that bomb there.
They were working yesterday on both defending it and giving it, and as a result, so far, they've had the opportunity to at least try the long bomb.
Here's McKenzie, playing it back for Nick Schultz. Up around for Popovic. Popovic couldn't pick it up. Knocked down. Mata moves it in. Here's Koivu. Big chance, and it was blocked. Dropping down in front of it was Schultz. Puck was wobbling a little bit for Koivu, but that was a good opportunity. Now a long shot from Kukkonen, and that is stopped by Ouellette.
Canada's got to settle down on their own end. They have had some difficulties handling the puck, and as a result, the Finns have been able to get possession of it, as they did just a while ago, with Mantilla walking right in, and he's not the type of guy that you want to allow those type of scoring opportunities. But Ouellette really held the fort, not once, but twice.
That's twice in this period, in this game, that Mantilla has walked in from his right point position to deep in the slot. That time he got a scoring chance. The other time, he drew a penalty. Lundmark shoots, scores! Jamie Lundmark puts Canada up 1-0.
Ouellette was able to help his team out, and as a result, they got things going. And Lundmark, who's got great speed, we talked about his passing abilities, but folks, this man can pick a fly right out of a net. Great wrist shot, and he got the momentum back for Canada because Finland had been coming on. It was good scoring chances. Ouellette held the fort.
Lundmark picks up his first goal of the tournament to go with 3 assists in the last game. What a shot. Just picked off the corner. And Canada's up 1-0. Camilleri on the way up. Lundmark is with him. Dishes to Camilleri. Offside called on Canada. Live from Moscow, you're watching the World Junior Hockey Championship.
Introducing the all-new Silverado Heavy Duty. The most powerful heavy-duty pickup you can get. Silverado Heavy Duty. More truck from Chevy.
Lundmark gets the goal, his first of the tournament. Jason Baumeister picks up an assist at 10:53. And Canada with the lead, despite so far having been outplayed by the Finns. Puck rolling towards the front. Ott was after it. He fanned on that. Filman steps in over the blue line. Tried to drop it back. Jackman along the boards for Canada. Holds it up ahead. Stoll poked it up there. Stoll and Spezza and Ott all lurking in the neutral zone. Maddox fires it up around the board. Hughes moves it in, but it's cleared back out to Filman. Gets it up ahead for Riga, battling in there on his off wing. Got it back out. Kukkinen looking, shooting, and fired that one well wide of the short side. I think that was his intended target. Delayed penalty coming up, and it is going to go against Canada. So Finland with the goaltender out and the extra attacker on. Hämäläinen, the captain of this Finnish team, picking his way to center, and then he's given a bump after the whistle by Torres. And that's the kind of thing you have to watch.
Yeah, Raffi Torres is an aggressive player, but he can't do that and put Canada in double jeopardy. Jackman's going off for the penalty. Barrett Jackman right here, tripping his man. As Yanni Rita was trying to work his way into the net, Barrett Jackman took him down. Canada, as Bob McKenzie talked about in the opening of our show, you and I talked about it, our part is that they have got to make sure, discipline-wise, that they stay over the penalty box as much as possible a day.
This is Finland's second power play of the game. They had a couple of shots on goal during the first one and controlled the puck well in the Canadian zone.
Great give and goes in close. That's not what Canada wants.
Kukkinen gets it up to Hämäläinen. Salmelainen trying to come out of the corner. Here's Hämäläinen. Koivu is down low, and he's got the puck now. Works it back out. Kukkinen. Back for Koivu. Waiting. Passing. Kukkinen. Fakes. Steps in. Tried to get it out in front. The loose puck there for Salmelainen, and he can't deliver it on goal. Now it's back out. Drilled there by Mata. That was knocked aside. Here's Koivu. Down low. Hämäläinen. Back out to Koivu. 1:09 to go in the power play. Hämäläinen steps back of the goal. And again, he'll work it out to Koivu. Gets it up ahead. Hämäläinen turning and firing. What a play there. Koivu looked as though he was going through the slot with a pass, and then Hämäläinen picked it up and got rid of it quickly.
Whether it's even strength or on the power play, Stan Butler told his team to watch out for that player in the high slot. The Finns really did that well last night. They scored one goal because of the way that they play the high slot.
Hämäläinen, an Edmonton draft pick. He didn't play all of last year because of injuries, and is playing now with IFK Helsinki. Here's Ruutu. Looks. Gets in deep. Fired that one just wide. Tikkanen trying to get it out in front. 35 seconds left in the Finnish power play. We played 13:45 of the opening period. Filman, glorious chance and a spectacular save by Maxime Ouellet. What a chance for Filman. Thanks for coming out, Ouellet.
Well, Canada are having a difficult time trying to play an aggressive game here when it comes to killing penalties. They're getting caught. And as a result, Finland are getting scoring opportunities. And Filman is the wrong guy to give that type of an opportunity, too. He's strong. He's a power forward.
Rated to go in the first round. He's a heavy hitter with good hands. And Canada at the receiving end of his wrath in the first period.
Well, Stan Butler's team right now are a little slow at moving the puck. They're also a little slow at moving their feet. Remember, Finland played last night, and they played a very tough game against Switzerland. Yes, folks, Switzerland. Switzerland are a very strong team here this year and tied the Russians already. But that's an advantage, actually, to the Finns. Back-to-back games normally in the National Hockey League are a disadvantage for a team, but in virtually a non-contact game, they get their skating legs, and Finland just taken over where they left off last night.
Out shooting Canada 10-3 in this first period, but trailing them 1-0. Thanks largely to Maxime Ouellet, who has made 3 or 4 great saves from tight end.
He's an outstanding goalie. He is very focused, and he is showing off his size, 6'2", 190 pounds. He plays the angles well.
He had a little trouble controlling rebounds in some of the games last year. Haven't seen evidence of that yet in this year's tournament.
He looks more confident.
Puck tapped up and ahead. Here comes Heatley on the way. Camilleri off the bench to join him. Heatley almost able to dance around his man Kukkinen. Puck comes out now, picked up. Sanoma up there all by himself. Finland on a change. Schultz starting back for Canada. Coming up in the 15-minute mark of this opening period. 1-0 Canada leads. Jamie Lundmark with the goal.
Canada needs for their good, quick, offensive-minded defense to start moving their feet and the puck a little bit quicker out of their own end.
Popovic back after for Canada. He was dragged down there by Venäläinen and will get a whistle. Canada leading 1-0. We're back in a moment. We have played 24 minutes of actual clock time and 15 minutes and 14 seconds of game time. But with that international ice hockey face-off rule, the game just flies.
Brandon Reed had to get in there quickly because they'll drop the puck without him.
And here comes Reed getting in there quickly. Drops it back. Puck drilled on goal. The trailer there was Rafi Torres, and that was a heavy shot that Lettinen turned away. Torres back out there, throwing his weight around along the boards. Torres battling hard. Drops it back now. Boys twisting and turning there. Gets it back down low for Torres. Now Reed jumps into the fray. Halkinen watching him. Boys back in the net. Boys trying to drop it back down there. Torres couldn't get to it that time, though. Here's Salmelainen. A little bit of trouble controlling it, but he gets it up. Filman, who steps in. Koivu is with him, and he leaves it there. Koivu comes in the backhand, tried to tuck it back in front, but a good job by Dan Hamhuis to stick with him.
Both defensemen did their job, played the body, and Brandon Reed came back as the center iceman. Back-checked well, picked up his man.
And the puck fired down the ice, an icing call on Finland.
The ESSO Medals and Certificates of Achievement program rewards youngsters across Canada with most dedicated, most sportsmanlike, and most improved player medals, and reinforces team commitment with Certificates of Achievement for each member. ESSO, premier sponsor of the CHA.
Played 16:28 of the first period, and Canada is leading 1-0. McCarthy gets it up ahead. Ott was looking for Spezza. That's picked up. 2. In over the blue line, bounces off the check. Rita all alone in front, and the puck just popped over his stick. And I mean, he was all alone.
In that particular situation, it's good that the ice isn't very good because it really bailed Canada out. That puck has been bouncing. The ice has not been good here in this arena, but Team Canada does not want to make an issue out of it. Obviously, both teams have got to play.
Here's Spezza. He'll fire it in. Lettinen out there to park it while Canada changes, so a little bit of extra ice for Finland to use here. As it's moved out to center. Morissette taps it up for Jaspers. McKenzie fires it in. This is McKenzie, Jaspers, and Morissette out there, the so-called checking line for Canada. They are, but there's a lot of offense there as well. Jaspers slides it along the boards. McKenzie crossing off there with Jaspers.
This line cycles very well. They can get the momentum for you. That's what they're doing right now.
An energy line for Coach Stan Butler, and McKenzie going after the puck here. Centers it right in front of the net. Great save by Lettinen, and Morissette had the chance to put it in. There's a shot from the blue line right on, and Lettinen stops it. Popovic drilling it from the line, and Morissette had the chance in front.
There you go, folks. That's what we were talking about. That's the checking line. McKenzie, Jaspers, and Morissette. You think of a checking line, maybe in North America you think of a line that's going to hang back, trap, and think defensively. That's not what this checking line is all about. They will go at you aggressively. They will pound you on the boards. They will get the puck and get the momentum and hopefully get a scoring opportunity.
Jackman fires a shot. That's knocked away. Lundmark trying to get it out in front. Lundmark hanging back. He has Canada's goal. Now Butler coming right back with his offensive line, hoping for some jump off of that energy line. He has Lundmark, Heatley, and Camilleri out there.
That's what they need to finish this period off. They need a good shift out of each line, and the checking line got it going for them.
Here comes Heatley. Camilleri. He'll look for Lundmark around back of the net. Not this time. Gets it out to Heatley with a shot. Lutton got a piece of that. Lundmark after it. Knocked away from him. Heatley comes after it. Trying to twist away. Lettinen watching him. And Niskala gets it out. Finland on a change. Puck just fired in deep. A minute 10 to go in the opening period. And Canada with a 1-0 lead as Lundmark dumps it in and peels back towards the bench. Rafi Torres up there. Gives his man a bump but can't force the turnover. Boys gives his man a rub and comes away with that puck. Only momentarily. Koivu back the other way. He was pulled down. Here comes Torres on the way in with Reed. Bouwmeester jumping into the play too. Reed shoots. Puck comes up around the boards. Boys is there. Taps it for Torres. McCarthy moves up after it. 5 seconds to go in the period. This is Boys. Koivu gave him a bump. Reed there to cover up. Reed out for Boys. 20 seconds to go in the period. There's Reed. And couldn't penetrate the slot there, and a penalty coming up. It is going to be a tripping call, and that will go against Finland. So Canada will have its first power play chance of the hockey game.
And they've had some sustained momentum going for them right now. Brandon Reed has been tough to get the puck off in this last shift. And he made it very difficult for the Finns to get it away from him. Finally, Koivu took a penalty at doing so.
The referee was unkind enough to obscure our view of that penalty on that occasion. Koivu tried to run, in effect, a bit of a defensive pick as he tripped up the man who was coming out to help out Reed. Here comes McCarthy. Steps in, 5 seconds to go in the period. Canada on a power play that will carry over to the second period for the first minute and 43 seconds as time runs out.
Canada had 3 good shifts to finish off this first period, and they come out of it with the lead. That's the key thing for Stan Butler.
And the other key thing was the play of this man, Maxime Ouellet. Canada was outshot, but they still come out with the lead. They were throwing the weight around, but it was Lundmark's goal that put them in the driver's seat after one. First intermission coming up in a moment.
Get the power of 3, the Intel Pentium 3 processor. Taste that goes down easy. Coors Light, call it the Rockies.
My hat's pink, my curtain shoes are pink, and my phone is pink. My favorite color's pink. My name is Shorty Jenkins, and I make ice. Dave, you want to take the hand screw and start? First thing, do I ask somebody where the closest Tim Hortons is?
When he's in town, he's in here every morning, early.
Well, I flood the ice, and then I go into Tim Hortons. And then I come back, flood the ice, and then I go back to Tim Hortons. Extra large double-double, please. I go back and forth all day long. It's the best coffee I've ever had.
Shorty's Ice is by far the best ice in Canada, probably in the world.
Really? The cha-cha?
Yes. Foxtrot.
Foxtrot.
And I also like to dance. She's danced everybody else but me, and I'm very upset. This is where I'm most comfortable, right here, drinking my hot coffee. Yes, it good. Really instantly warms up my hands. If there's a Tim Hortons in town, I'll guarantee you you're going to have good ice.
Esquire Watches and the Canadian Hockey Association are proud to bring back a program dedicated to the development of minor hockey in Canada. $1 from each Esquire watch sold between October and March will go directly to the sponsorship and growth of Canadian minor hockey. Hit tsn.ca/ESQ or canadianhockey.ca for details. Tell us about your team of superstars and they can join in the growing list of teams to say...
At the intermission, brought to you by the Pentium 3 processor. Visit us today at intel.ca.
My hockey hero is probably Peter Forsberg. I've liked him for a long time now. I think he's a great all-around player, and you know, he's just got some moves that blow my mind sometimes. Being drafted into NHL, you know, it was a dream come true. All of, you know, just felt like all the years of working hard had paid off, and you know, the other one was probably last year at the World Juniors. Didn't get a chance for gold, but you know, winning the bronze medal was, I was happy, and you know, hopefully get a better chance this year.
Funny that Jamie Lundmark would say that Peter Forsberg is one of his hockey heroes. Last year in Sweden, Lundmark, the Swedish journalist, kept trying to make him into a Swede and asking him, well, when were you born? When were you last in Sweden? Never been. Your parents? No.
I like Forsberg, though.
Yeah, he likes Forsberg. Thank goodness. That'll make the Swedes happy. He has the goal for Canada in a 1-0 lead after one period. Bob, you talked about it on the pregame show, the fact that the Canadians would try to take advantage of the fact that Finland's a little small on the back end, and maybe try to bang and crash in behind the net.
Yeah, I don't think the Canadians did it as much as they would have liked, but later in the period, the checking line with Jaspers, Morissette, and McKenzie really got things going well on the cycle. Morissette with the puck gets it down low, McKenzie with it, over to Jaspers, winning all the battles, and all they really want to do is play 3-on-3 down low, keep moving that puck around the boards, cycling it around the boards, until they can finally get a breakdown. And there the breakdown happens. It's McKenzie comes out, gets it out in front. Morissette has a good scoring opportunity. The puck goes back to the point. They get another good shot off the point, a second scoring chance. That's two good quality scoring chances, all because that checking line of Jaspers, Morissette, and McKenzie were able to cycle the puck down low, play 3-on-3 down low, win more battles than you lose, wait for the breakdown, and get the puck to the front of the net.
And you'll see a lot more of that tomorrow when Canada takes on the Russians, because that's always been a favorite Canadian ploy against the Russians. Still ahead, we'll have more from Paul and Gary in Moscow. TSN's live coverage of the World Junior Hockey Championship continues right after this.
With the season's best deals, everybody's trading in their old vehicles to take advantage of the General Motors holiday rate break. Everybody. Get 0.9% purchase financing or no payments and no interest for 12 months on most new vehicles. The General Motors holiday rate break for a limited time at your Chevrolet Oldsmobile dealer.
It's a party I'm talking about. It's gonna be a party, man. Dino, open up, buddy. Dino, open up, man. Yeah. Come on, man. Go over the top.
You know?
Thanks, guys. Come on in.
In Specialty Mart Get Together packs, you get 12 Canadian, 12 Coors Light, and one of 4 great warm-up gear items.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, Bernice.
Must be legal drinking age, no purchase necessary.
Esquire Watches and the Canadian Hockey Association are proud to bring back a program dedicated to the development of minor hockey in Canada. $1 from each Esquire watch sold between October and March will go directly to the sponsorship and growth of Canadian minor hockey. Hit tsn.ca/ESQ or canadianhockey.ca for details. Tell us about your team of superstars and they can join in the growing list of teams to say...
Kyle, I want Joseph. Will you move him?
I'm listening.
Hang on, I got another call. Yeah?
I just got Yager, and I'll consider moving him.
Yager? That could be interesting.
Collect McDonald's NHL hockey cards, featuring today's hottest players. This year with 3 awesome subsets. A 3-card pack, just 89 cents plus tax when you buy any size fries.
Okay, Kyle. Let's talk Joseph.
I just traded him for Allison Flynn's phone number.
your ideas is your business. Helping you make them work is ours. E-Solutions from Microsoft.
My favorite hockey player is probably Steve Yzerman. It's because I've always liked the Detroit Red Wings, and he's a good leader, and just always liked the way he plays. My most memorable hockey moment was definitely last year, winning the bronze medal at this tournament. It was an unbelievable experience. My parents have always supported me growing up, done everything they could to help me with hockey and school and everything else.
Be sure to log on to the official website of the Canadian Hockey Association and Team Canada at the World Junior Hockey Championship. www.canadianhockey.ca has in-depth information on Team Canada players with profiles, chat rooms, behind-the-scenes photos and contests. Visit canadianhockey.ca, the official site of Team Canada. One other game being played on this day 3 of the World Junior Hockey Championship. The United States leading Slovakia 3-1 after one period of play. Andy Hilbert has a goal. Brett Nowak has a pair of assists. That's good news for the Boston Bruins. They drafted both those players in last year's National Hockey League draft. Well, when I was younger, we used to play Scrabble, and the saying always was, a fast game is a good game. Apparently, the IHF thinks the same thing as the first period flew by. For more on that, Paul Romanek and Gary Green.
Well, Gord, with the new IHF face-off rule, the game just flies by. For example, that period took 29 minutes and 40 seconds to play. Normally, the rule of thumb in the NHL is about 2 minutes of clock time for every minute of actual game time. So a period takes about 40 minutes.
No, folks, you didn't have it on fast forward at all in that first period. It is very quick. And for the players and coaches of both teams, you have got to be very quick. You've got to be very alert. You can't get caught napping on the bench. You've got to be able to change quickly. And I'm not talking about just changing on the go quickly. I'm talking about once that whistle goes, if you're the next line up, next defense pairings up, you got to get out there quickly, or they'll just drop the puck and leave you in the dust.
As a coach, fan, or player, quickly, which do you like it? Are you thumbs up or thumbs down?
Yeah, no, I'm thumbs up. I really like it from all angles. It really keeps everybody into the game.
No, I'm right with you. It moves things right along. We'll do that right now. Move it along back to Gordon Bob.
What, no exploding scoreboards? People shooting T-shirts out of cannons? This will never play in North America. Hey, old-time hockey in Russia, you got to like it.
Of course, the other thing you should notice is there are no fans either, which is an interesting thing. But the international game is obviously different, and we celebrate that difference at this time of the year. But a lot of what the International Ice Hockey Federation does with the games in terms of the speed-up rule, the NHL could take a page out of their book on some fronts, but most of them are impractical given the commercial nature of the National Hockey League.
Hey, listen, just a note to the people that run NHL games, nobody, and I mean nobody, buys a ticket to see a guy shoot a T-shirt out of a cannon. Just, you know, one man's opinion. 1-0 Canada after one. Back with more after this. First period summary brought to you by Gatorade. Is it in you? Jamie Lundmark's first of the tournament gives Canada a 1-0 lead. Bouwmeester and Camilleri with the assist. Canada outshoots Finland 10-9. Maxime Ouellette still hasn't allowed a goal in this tournament. Gotta go. Back to Moscow for the second.
Hey, hold on to your hats. We are set to roll here in period number 2. Canada with a power play to start things off. Minute 35 to go in their man advantage, and the puck cleared up out of play.
Well, for Canada, they have got to come out and start off in this second period the way that Stan Butler had them working the last 3-4 minutes of the first period of play, Paul. All hands on deck and moving that puck and their feet very quickly.
Bouwmeester clears the puck in. And for this power play, McCarthy and Bouwmeester back at the blue line. And the big threesome out there for Canada, Heatley, Camilleri, and Lundmark. Heatley looking for the puck. Chase down towards the corner. Haukinen watching him. Heatley gets it back out. Bouwmeester. Here's McCarthy. Shoots. Right on. It's deflected over towards the boards. Camilleri after it. And the puck pops out over the glass and out of play. 55 seconds to go in the man advantage.
Good shot by Steve McCarthy from the point. He let that shot go. It was about 2.5, 3 feet high. And Canada were looking for the screen in front of Lehtinen. Here's the quick face-off again, folks. You got to get in and get ready.
And Hughes up to Spezza. The power play unit gets changed up. Boys down the corner. Spezza going after it. The other forward out there for Canada is Rafi Torres. And Ham Hughes and Jackman back at the blue line. And puck chopped out down the ice by Huuhtanen.
Finland are being very aggressive along the boards, killing this penalty off. They're very confident with their quickness.
20 seconds to go on the power play for Canada. Jackman had the pass roll off his stick. Sanoma picks it up and fires it back into Canadian territory. 10 seconds to go on the advantage. And Hughes out to center. Long shot. Bumps in around the boards. Torres whistling up there after it. Koivu out of the box and into the play. And Hughes with a shot, and play whistle down. A penalty coming up. It is going to be a tripping call, and it will go against Canada. Jason Spezza heads to the box.
Right along the boards in front of us, Jason Spezza ends up taking a penalty on this play. Just took the Finnish player's feet right out from underneath of him, and Spezza knew as soon as he did it that he was in trouble and headed quickly to the penalty box.
Third power play for Finland. 0 for 2 in the first period. They had 3 shots. Here's Bomeister. A little bit of room. Well, for obvious reasons, i.e. Finland is a much stronger opponent. Bomeister hasn't carried the puck quite as much as he did against Belarus so far in this one. Kaukonen. Pardon me, that's Kukkonen. Steps up and clears it in. Jaspers and Reed, the 2 forwards out in the penalty kill. Jaspers hacking at it. Bomeister and McCarthy are the 2 defenders. Here's Koivu. Gets it back out. Maddox. Koivu. Big shot. That one sizzled wide of the goal. Bomeister goes after it, chops it out.
What you like about Bomeister back in the point, killing penalties, is his size, his strength, and his overall reach. He can anticipate well and cuts off an awful lot of short passes.
Morissette and McKenzie jump over the boards to change off the penalty killers. Jackman out there with Hughes. Lettinen clears it up around the boards. Here's Tikkanen. Tikkanen runs away from the forechecker. 43 seconds to go on the Finnish power play. Mantala in over the blue line, drops it off there for Rita. Tikkanen lets a shot go. There was just too much traffic between Tikkanen and the net. He had no chance of getting it on.
McKenzie and Morissette out there killing penalties up front. When I talked to McKenzie yesterday, Derek told me that even though they didn't like taking penalties against Belarus, it really felt good to play such an important role, to get out there in a penalty killing situation.
Here's Tikkanen, tight roping along the blue line, gets it up. Rita fakes a shot. 23 seconds left in the Finnish power play. Filman, who had a couple of good chances in that first period, he's out there now. And Filman looking for the puck along the boards. He has it now in the corner. Gets it out. Rita shooting. Fired that one wide. And the net is dislodged, and thus the whistle with 8 seconds to go on the power play for Finland. Boy, they moved that puck quickly.
And Rita thought that he had the angle. Ouellette was giving him a little bit of room on the glove side, and when Rita used his wrist shot, that's exactly where he was trying to hit.
On the face-off, that was Lundmark taking the draw for Canada.
Rita, by the way, we talked about him being Edmonton's first draft pick.
Lettinen, it's the second time in this game he's had a little trouble with a hopper, a short hopper in front of him.
Back to Rita for a moment, though. Edmonton's first pick in '99, you were talking about the fact that last year, and this guy in the World Junior had 3 assists in 7 games, but he's offensively tough. He's offensively strong. There you take a look at the goaltender we thought that was playing tonight, Ari Ahonen.
Schultz fires it up. Camilleri chops it in, and this is Niskala back after it.
Just finishing off on Rita. They think, the Finnish people think, that he is perfect as far as his style goes for the National Hockey League. They said he's like a machine. He's aggressive, and he's good offensively.
Well, his development is a little stunted right now. Here comes Heatley, fires one that's tipped up over the glass and out of play. We'll get back to Rita in a moment. Right now, we'll take a timeout with Canada leading 1-0.
I hate team photo day. Yeah, no kidding.
Number 16. You guys are late. You take number 5, you take number 8, all
Since
right?
1936, SO has supported hockey. That's why we've created a unique program where you can donate your SO Extra points towards the purchase of new team sweaters. At SO, we believe
Who wants this one?
there's no such thing as an unassisted goal.
To finish my thought on Yanni Rita, they feel his growth is being stunted a little right now because he's playing with the #1 team, Jokerit, but he's playing in the third line because he's such a young player. McCarthy fires one. That bounces just wide. So thus he doesn't get as much ice time, nor does he get any power play time at all.
And Jokerit is the best team in the league right now.
Mantilla steps across center and clears it in. Hustling up there hard after it is Hämäläinen. Hämäläinen hustling up there. And a fortuitous bounce. Helping out Salmelainen, who got the goal.
That puck just was on the move. And Salmelainen was ending up in a position here where he was able to just get in quickly ahead of the Canadian player in order to get his stick out there and knock that puck right up into the net.
It was Hämäläinen, the captain, coming up hard, and he was able to occupy Jay Bomeister, and as a result, the puck bounced right by the two of them out in front, and Salmelainen gets the goal. He is an Edmonton Oilers draft pick from 1999, and he ties this one up.
He was 41st overall in the draft that year.
And here comes Rita, powering back off the draw. Fires a shot. Drove that one wide. The rebound was there for Filman. There's a shot. That stopped Filman. Dipping and diving up there. Just lost the puck. Jackman moves it up. That's a helmet you see spinning around in the ice there just inside the blue line. Here's Ruutu. Passing it up. Laid offside on Finland. Waved off. Jackman has it. 1-1 the score. Tony Salmelainen scoring for Finland to tie it up here in the second period. Mustonen drops it back for Niskala. Winds his way in, fires a shot. Drove that one just wide. And there's another chance from the high slot. That one fired by Huutonen.
Yeah, you named it, the high slot. Stan Butler talked about that before the game and with his team yesterday.
Here comes Boys. Nice little move. Didn't quite turn out as he tried to pull it by Niskala. But he's going hard after it in the corner. Boys up there. Gets it along the wall. Boys and McKenzie trying to work it loose, but it's controlled by Finland. Mustonen giving a bump there, and Popovic for Canada plays it back. Played 6 minutes of the second period. Canada and Finland tied at 1. And it bears pointing out just one more time that Finland getting the lion's share of the opportunities from the high slot. Canada with one there. That was Morissette coming in on the wing, tumbling into the boards after the chance, and they have to wait for him to clear the zone. He does, and the puck is cleared back in. McKenzie pulled down, and a penalty coming up against Finland. So once again, this line, McKenzie, Jaspers, and Morissette hustling and forcing Finland this time to take a penalty.
Well, that's exactly what Stan Butler right now is seemingly being able to count on from his line. There you see the penalty as McKenzie went sprawling into the boards. But this checking line, the line we talked about at the start of the game, isn't just a defensive checking line. They are almost the go-to momentum line right now for Stan Butler.
Second power play chance of the game for Canada. This is McCarthy. He's back there in the blue line with Bomeister to start things off in the power play. Lundmark fires one. That stop. Rebound comes out. Camilleri picks it up there. Heatley's the other forward. And he is triggered, poised there in the slot. Puck comes back out now for McCarthy. He works it out. Camilleri looking for Heatley, but it went off the skate of Paukkinen, and the puck cleared out.
Bomeister was moving right in from the point. He was giving that extra option.
1:14 to go on the power play for Canada. Bomeister gathering speed and then firing the puck in. Lundmark up there after it. Here's Heatley. Back to the line. McCarthy for Bomeister. Gets a wrist shot away. Camilleri trying to tip it. Heatley there at the side with a quick little move, but couldn't quite jam it in. Camilleri can't catch up to it in the corner that time, and Mata gets it down the ice. 50 seconds to go on the power play. Bomeister clears it in. Offside call on Canada. And check that, it's going to be icing. They're going to pull the draw way back into the Canadian zone.
I said that Jay Bomeister didn't get over the red line before he put that puck down into the corner. Stan Butler is a pretty cool and calm coach, Paul, as you have found out in talking to him, and I've known him for many years. He's done an excellent job with Brampton and the Ontario Hockey League.
Off draw, puck fired in. That shot by Huhtinen almost handcuffing Willett. It's one of those strange ones that sort of, do you use your shoulder or your glove? I know. Here's Spezza. Shoots. Just missed the short side. Up hard there, back of the net. Couldn't pick up the rebound. A couple of Canadian players falling. Looked like an Abbott and Costello routine there for a moment.
The Tories had the feet taken out from underneath them.
Abbott and Costello, a couple of old comedians, slapstick comedians, for those of you under the age of about 35. Torres looking for it, rolled away from him. Schultz for Spezza, back for Schultz. Jackman shoots it in. Teams back at even strength. Played just over 8.5 minutes of the second period. Canada and Finland in a tight one. They are tied up at 1. Stoll working hard along the boards, but Koivu there to steal it from Stoll. Amelainen. Popovic skates back after it. Niskala had it bounce away from him. Stoll steps in. Spezza was moving towards the goal, but he'll peel back to the bench. Complete the change. Zigomanis comes over the boards. Stoll. And Ott working up along the wall. Ruutu tried to shift around Zigomanis. That door was closed. Now Ott hustling up after it. He's got Stoll with him, and Zigomanis tried to center it, but couldn't get the pass by Kukkinen. Finland back in the transition, and Pillman stopped there at the blue line.
Ott's an in-your-face guy, and before this game even started, he was having some words with Hamalainen, and he scored 2 goals last night.
Here's Popovic up there deep. Trying to get it around in front. Mustelin back in for Finland. Try to angle his way into the top of the slot. Popovic now. Steps across center and dumps it in. Coming up on the halfway point of this game. Canada and Finland tied at 1. McCarthy skating back after it. A foot race here. Sainoma tried to catch up. Mantelai up for Kukkinen. Now sprinting after it is Sainoma. He was tied up in the play. Bomeister couldn't get away there. Pass up ahead. Vanalainen moving in. Gets a shot away. And Willett will cover it up. 10:30 to go. We'll be back in a moment.
Join the celebration. In 2008, we invite all Canadians to come live the dream and expect the world.
If you'd like to check out Stan Butler's daily diary, among other things, player profiles, send emails to the players, CanadianHockey.ca. Jackman works it up. Lundmark spun around there by Koivu, who steals the puck. Drops it back. Samalainen moving in. Misfired in the chance. Punched in by Mata, and that ping-ponged off a couple of skates. Lundmark clearing it out. Samalainen passing it up ahead. Here comes Koivu. In over the line. Salmelainen fires one. Ouellette knocks that away. What do you think of Koivu so far?
Well, he's quick out there, and there's no question that he has got tremendous skills, but Finland so far has showed Paul that they've got pretty good balance.
Here comes Rita moving in, drops it back. Philman with a shot, and that deflected up over the glass and out of play. Between the boards after one period, brought to you by Molson Canadian. It's a Canadian game. And that is right up to date, not after just one period. Power plays, both punchless so far.
Canada wants to play an aggressive game, but they have also got to play a smart, aggressive game. You can't go running all the way across the ice in order to make a hit.
Reed coming up. Here comes Tikkanen moving it up. Reed looking for it. Ruutu tapping it out in front. Philman was there. Here's Bouwmeester. Long pass up ahead. Reed trying to fight his way in. Drops it in front. Backhand shot just fired wide by Torres. And then Torres levels a man in the corner. Comes out with it. And couldn't quite land the payload on target that time. But what a little sequence there from Raffi Torres. Puck tapped out. Sanoma going after it. Here's Spezza. Passes it across in front, knocked away by Kukkonen.
Finland have been pretty good in their defensive coverage. They have been quick to get back into position and give their goaltender some additional help.
Here's Spezza. Popovic got it up for Stoll. Coming in. Ott is with him. And Stoll couldn't get it across in front. Niskala, the defenseman, got in the way of the pass. Popovic over to Schultz. Ott exploding towards the goal, but Schultz just dumps it in deep. Here's Spezza, swing and a miss. Popovic playing it across. Schultz steps up after it. Ott was looking for Spezza. That was intercepted. Mustonen in over the blue line, trying to burrow his way by Schultz. Schultz getting it up. Stoll. Back around.
Mustonen's being very aggressive out there. He didn't get a shift in last night's game against Switzerland. And yet he's a skillful player.
Niskala gets to center and flips it down into Canadian territory. Schultz batting it up around. It was intended for Ott, but it hops over the boards. Another play. Live from Moscow, this is the World Junior Hockey Championship.
Welcome to my Hall of Fame. Home of the quickest, most awesome player to ever hit the ice. The place where with one unexpected move, I can single-handedly bring thousands to their feet. What's your dream?
Tough challenges for Canada. Back-to-back games today against Finland, tomorrow against Russia. 10 o'clock Eastern time. Hope you can join us.
A game all of the Canadian players have been looking very forward to. They couldn't look past Finland for good reason.
Ouellette directing that into the corner. Hamhuis couldn't hold on to it. Koivu tried to center it. Hamhuis having a little difficulty there. Getting some help now. Here's Jackman.
Boy, this building is quiet.
Yes, the World Junior Hockey Championship continues to be a well-kept secret in virtually every country but Canada. Finland, the only other country I've been to where they really embrace it. They set an attendance record the last time it was in Helsinki that was subsequently broken in Winnipeg. But all these other countries, I don't know, Gary.
Actually, ESPN magazine from the United States are coming over here this week to do a story, a feature story on the best-kept secret in hockey.
That would be this tournament. Here comes Lundmark, or he was away up on the left-hand side, but the puck pushed back into McCarthy. Now Lundmark coming over to get it himself. And Lundmark on the way. Gets it up ahead to Heatley. Camilleri up in the play as well. He's the trailer. Heatley looking for him. It went off the skate and rolled in. That was almost a very fortunate bounce for Canada. The pass was intended for the high slot, but went off a skate.
The #1 offensive line for Canada took the puck right from their own end and went right to the net. All three of them. Heatley was looking for somebody to pass, but we mentioned earlier about how well the Finns have been defending. Lehtinen was able to get that big pad of his out and make the save.
There's McCarthy. Gets it up around back of the goal. Lundmark battling away. Gets it to Camilleri.
Go hands, go hands.
Lundmark. For Camilleri. Gets away from Koivu. Fighting his way in. Centers it across. Here's Heatley. Didn't quite have enough room that time. But he's got the puck along the boards. Dipping and diving there. Looking for a receiver. Back for Camilleri. Bounced off of him. Lundmark up to challenge. Canada's big line pressing here. That was Lundmark decked there by Koivu, who will start back with it. Koivu, long pass up ahead, trying to get it up to Samalenen. Heatley boosting it ahead. Bomeister, he fired that one. It skitters up around the boards. Boys after it. Now Reed steps into the fray. Samalenen trying to hold him off. Reed all the way back to the line. Bomeister with a wrist shot. That was blocked, that's Schultz. Schultz works it back up ahead. Torres around for Reed. Looking for Boys, and he finds him. Comes out in front, tried to feather it right out there to Schultz, who'd moved into the high slot.
It was a good block by Koivu on Schultz.
Now the puck turned over, puck shipped in towards the goal there by Mustonen. As you mentioned, Gary, he didn't play in the game last night, but he has had a lot of jump in this one for Finland. Tony Mustonen, number 14. Kilkinen winds it up for Finland. Got across center and knocked it in. Kutunen looking for it. Here's Kutunen. Played 16:45 the second period. 1-1 between Canada and Finland. Lundmark, the scorer for Canada.
Having to pass trucks on the highway is not an option. So why would a V6 engine be one? Malibu from Chevrolet. Powerful V6 engine standard. Think about it. Malibu did. People have stuff. It's not an option. So we built a car with an enormous trunk and extra interior space. Malibu from Chevrolet. Designed for people and their stuff. Think about it. Malibu did.
Doug McLean doesn't know shorthand either, so he's just going to watch. Firmly put it all into his mind.
Columbus Blue Jackets, or the Columbus Straight Jackets on some nights. The trials and tribulations of a new team.
Pretty impressive early there. So of Minnesota.
Jackman fires it in. Comes up around the boards there. Sangamo was looking for it. Niskala coming through. And the puck popped up over the boards and out of play.
Jason Spezza with that wire cage on his mask, or on his helmet, I should say. When we talked to him yesterday, you talked about in the opening, the fact that he got that wrap off of his groin and had a good practice, felt that he was very confident now, and said, in fact, that wrap that he had around the groin stopped him from scoring a goal on that good scoring chance that he had against Belarus.
Here's McKenzie in front. Morissette was on the backhand there, couldn't get rid of it. Back up for Bomeister.
He was tongue-in-cheek, obviously, folks, when he was talking to us about it. He's a very good-humored young man. Always a smile on his face.
Yeah, I've heard about putting everything behind a shot, but that would be a bit much. Puck rolls up ahead to Mantala. Glove down calmly there by McCarthy, who gets it out of the zone. On the move was McKenzie. He was upended, and a penalty coming up against Finland. Canada will have its third power play chance of the game, and for the second time, it is Derek McKenzie who draws the penalty.
Well, this will give Canada a much-needed opportunity for some more momentum here. McKenzie put the little tap and went down, and Billman's going out to the penalty box. Billman, who in the under-18 Worlds ended up with 5 points in 7 games. He's been with the national program for 5 years.
There's McCarthy, works it across. Canada on the power play. They've had 2 shots on goal on 2 power plays, no goals. 1 minute and 45 seconds to go in this second period. Canada and Finland tied at 1. McCarthy fires it in. Lundmark up there after. He's out there with Heatley and Camilleri, so it appears so far in the tournament this is clearly the #1 power play unit. Trying to pound it up around the boards for the Finns. Lundmark down for Heatley. Camilleri stepping after it, but it is cleared out of harm's way for the time being by Paukkinen.
And also Bouwmeester and McCarthy, the #1 defensemen out there who are going to play the power play first unit every time.
Here comes McCarthy off the boards, fires it in. Oh, great pair of hands by Heatley. Did you see that? Tipped it out of midair and almost caught Lettinen. Jackman with a shot, and he fired it wide, and it hops over the glass and out of play. What a chance for Heatley, and what coordination.
He took that puck right out of the air. There's no question about that. Great hand-eye coordination. But he just couldn't get the right angle on it. That puck was so close in right on top of Lettinen. Then right after that, Barrett Jackman walked in from the point and just blasted that puck.
55 seconds to go on the power play for Canada. 54 seconds remaining in the period. Schultz shoots it in. Boys for Spezza. Torres, the other forward. McCarthy works it up for Spezza. Back for Torres. Didn't have anyone in front. Jackman back for Torres. Down low. Spezza waiting, looking. With a power play goal, Canada's up 2-1.
Just a perfect setup, though, by Spezza behind the net. He ended up taking a look. Now watch as well Lettinen. Lettinen starts to move to his left. Spezza just faked him out. He faked the goaltender out from behind the net. Lettinen thought that Spezza was going to come around for the wraparound, and instead Spezza fooled him and put that puck right out to a pretty good sharpshooter himself. Boys wasted no time whatsoever at putting that puck into the open side.
Boys, who has 33 goals in the Ontario Hockey League in 31 games with Erie, picks up his first of the tournament on the power play. And right back in for Canada comes Heatley, twisting around on the corner.
That was just a very smart move by Jason Spezza from behind the net.
Sure was. Very creative. That was a beautiful setup. And a nice finish by Boys, who had it laid out nicely to him by Spezza. And that will do it for period number 2.
Well, Canada ended off on the right note in the second period, the same way they did in the first period. Well, a little differently, but they did go into the dressing room with the momentum.
Like the first period, they go in with a 1-goal lead. The final goal scored by Boys in the power play. Spezza picks up an assist, as well as Barrett Jackman on this nifty play.
The 2001 Cavalier VLX sedan comes with air conditioning, ABS, and 4-speed automatic. With enhanced traction assist. The Cavalier VLX, with more standard features than ever and a 5-year powertrain warranty, just $215 a month or 0.9% financing.
Taste that goes down easy. Coors Light, call it the Rockies.
customers and suppliers on the net. Yeah.
Where you get your ideas is your business. Helping you make them work is ours. E-Solutions from Microsoft.
Man, people can't even dribble on the glove. Now they talking about trying to dunk on me? Oh, they crazy. Looky here. I got an afro now, but I'm going to have a super afro now. Look at this right here. Come on down with it now. Yeah, baby artist Gilmore. These all good. Get my pick, baby. You understand me? Huh. What? Who can do this? Oh, my goodness.
The Old South gave us one breakfast tradition we savor to this day. An old family tradition that calls for hand-picking only the best-tasting juice oranges available anywhere. A tradition steeped in the rich, smooth, pure, freshly squeezed taste of Old South frozen concentrated orange juice. A unique taste handed down from generation to generation. A tradition we can all enjoy every morning, every day. Old South orange juice, a tradition you can trust.
At the intermission, brought to you by the Pentium 3 processor. Visit us today at intel.ca.
My favorite hockey player is definitely Wayne Gretzky. He's the greatest player ever played. You know, I've always watched him play and loved the way he plays. Just the way he handles himself, both on and off the ice, and he's just such a smart player and great to watch. Well, the most memorable hockey moment would probably be back in, I guess, my Bantam year. I went to the All-Ontario with the team, and I was able to, you know, we finished second, but I got the MVP and leading scorer, and that was probably at the start of my career.
Brad Boyes from Toronto, a first-round pick of the Toronto Maple Leafs last year in the National Hockey League draft, and the other Canadian goal scored by Jamie Lundmark, who was a first-round pick of the New York Rangers in 1999. Canada, by the way, Bob, has 7 first-round picks in its lineup, and if you look at the 6 eligible players for the upcoming drafts, we could look back at this national junior team and say that a dozen players in the lineup already were first-round picks or went on to become first-round picks. Let's talk, though, about the Canadian captain, a first-round pick of the Chicago Blackhawks, Steve McCarthy, who got victimized on the finish goal.
Well, it's a real fine line when you're playing in the World Junior Tournament in terms of making a mistake and having your man and having the puck end up in the back of the net. Let's have a look. Canada on the forecheck, and everything looks to be in good shape here. Mike Camilleri's the third offensive forward. High, not a problem. Everything's in good shape. You've got 4 Finns, 2 defensemen back here, so the matchup is good for Canada. Okay. Camilleri decides he's going to come up and make a move right there, but that's no problem because Danny Heatley's swinging back in to fill in, and Canada still has its 2 defensemen across there. Canada is not outnumbered in any way, shape, or form. Heatley comes up and decides to take the puck carrier, and a simple dump in. Hold it there. Shouldn't be a problem. McCarthy's got his man right here, and Jay Bouwmeester's got his man right there. Man's covered off here. That's good defensive hockey, not a problem. Puck gets dumped into the corner on the dump in, but right there, I'll just keep it going for a second. Stop it there. What's happened is McCarthy's allowed too much of a gap to open up between his man. He needs to slide back in a little tighter here and take away that lane. Bouwmeester's doing his job, taking the man to the corner. The puck goes in. Bouwmeester neutralizes his guy right there, and now McCarthy has lost position on his man. Sal Malainen comes in. Ouellette goes down early, and the rest, as they say, is history. The puck is in the back of the net, and it was really only a step or two that McCarthy was shy of his man, but you can't allow that to happen, and as a result, the puck ends up in the back of the net.
You know Howie Meeker, but you're not half bad. Bob McKenzie in our second intermission. Canada leading Finland by a score of 2-1. Brad Boyes with the power play goal on the setup from Jason Spezza. Back with more of the World Junior Hockey Championship after this.
Introducing the Chevrolet Impala. The comfort of a roomy 6-seat interior. The security of a 5-star frontal safety rating. the performance of a V6 engine, and the dependability of a Chevrolet. All for under $25,000 or get 0.9% purchase financing up to 48 months. The pleasure's back with the Chevrolet Impala.
I hate Team Photo Day. Yeah, no kidding.
Number 16. You guys are late. You take number 5, you take number 8, all
Since
right?
1936, SO has supported hockey. That's why we've created a unique program where you can donate your SO Extra Points towards the purchase of new team sweaters. At SO, we believe
Who wants this one?
there's no such thing as an unassisted goal.
This may be the best thing you watch all night. Crown Royal. Yes, it's that smooth.
Kyle, I want Joseph. Will you move him?
I'm listening.
Hang on, I got another call. Yeah?
I just got Yager, and I'll consider moving him.
Yager. That could be interesting.
Collect McDonald's NHL hockey cards, featuring today's hottest players. This year with 3 awesome subsets. A 3-card pack, just 89 cents plus tax when you buy any size fries.
Okay, Kyle. Let's talk Joseph.
I just traded him for Allison Flynn's phone number.
Introducing the new Nikon F65. So lightweight and easy to use, you'll never fear SLR photography again.
Where you going? Where you going? Give it to me. Give it to me. Oh, gotcha. Now, this how the glove do it. Give my ball back. Well, then take your ball in. Yeah, the glove. Did you see it? Me, mostly me. This my domain. The glove. Hey, hold on, man. You ain't gonna be disrespecting me like that. When I ain't looking, huh? Oh, boy, that's something else.
Hi, I'm Jason Spezza. And I'm Steve Ott. Join Team Canada tomorrow as we take on Russia. See it, live it, TSN.
Our thanks to the Windsor Spitfires contingent for Team Canada, and they're right. Canada takes on Russia tomorrow. Our pregame coverage starts at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific. And be sure to log on to the official website of the Canadian Hockey Association and Team Canada at the World Junior Championship. CanadianHockey.ca has in-depth information on Team Canada's players with profiles, chat rooms, behind-the-scenes photos, and contests. CanadianHockey.ca, the official site of Team Canada. In his 5th period of this World Junior Championship, Maxime Ouellette, the Canadian goaltender, has allowed his first goal of the tournament. But Brad Boyes has put Canada back on top with their thoughts on what we've seen so far. Back to Moscow with Paul and Gary.
Well, Gord, Canada getting some solid goaltending, which they've come to expect in this tournament from Maxime Ouellette, but you seem to feel they have to pick things up offensively and maybe even defensively in the 3rd period.
Well, this is really the first game for Canada in this tournament because after blowing Belarus out 9-0, they now realize that the competition is stiff. This is a good Finnish hockey club. They move the puck well, they skate well, they've been good defensively, and they have gone toe-to-toe with Canada in this game. Spezza set up that beautiful pass to Boyes to put Canada in a good situation coming into this 3rd period, but they've got to get all 4 lines going for them in this 3rd period, Paul. Get the momentum early.
Brad Boyes, the Toronto Maple Leafs draft pick, who told me before this tournament that it would be a dream come true to play for Canada. Living out that dream, he has the go-ahead goal for Canada heading into the 3rd. Guys?
All right, thanks very much, Paul and Gary. Team USA taking on Slovakia. The Americans with a 5-2 lead. And we could point out here that Brett Nowak from Harvard University, a draft pick of the Boston Bruins, is a pair of assists in that game. The 3rd period still to come with Team Canada leading Finland 2-1 on day 3 of the 2001 World Junior.
This is the party I'm talking about. It's going to be a party, man. Dino, open up, man. Dino, open up, man. Come on, man. Let's go. Let's go.
You know?
Thanks, guys. Come on in.
In specially marked get-together packs, you get 12 Canadian 12 Coors Light and one of 4 great warm-up gear items.
Hi,
Hi, Chris.
Hey, Bernice.
Must be legal drinking age. No purchase necessary.
Sometimes you look me so hardly. You make me feel like a strong man. But now you're looking me over. 'Cause I'm a man and you know how to watch.
Look with moderation. Tiso, hypnotic suggestion.
Look at this. Check this out. Yeah, get the flashlight. Get the flashlight. Fernand.
Never has so much power gone into our battery. Introducing Duracell Ultra. With new M3 technology, it's the most powerful alkaline battery in the world.
Second period summary brought to you by Cheerios, one of Canada's favorite cereals for over 40 years. Brad Boyes puts the Canadians ahead on the power play at 19:35, shots leading Canada 18-16. Back to the third.
Thanks, Gord. Boyes has a reputation in the OHL for scoring big goals. He has 33 goals so far this year, and he gets a big one for Canada to put them up heading into this third.
I talked about Canada wanting to get in very early to this third period. Everyone going non-stop, one line after the other, one pair of defense after the other, having a real good third period.
The only two players who haven't been right into the mix for Canada in this game are Mike Zigomanis, who's seen a few shifts, and I don't think the extra defenseman Jay Harrison has played at all. Penalty coming up here. It's a cross-checking call against Canada, so Finland will have its fourth power play chance of the game. They're 0 for 3.
Well, not the way that Canada wanted to start off this third period. Mike Camilleri ends up taking a cross-checking penalty for that play right there, folks, and that is putting Canada in a tough situation early.
Puck fired on goal. A good low shot from Tuukka Mantila, number 8. He is their quarterback on the power play. We mentioned that back in the first period, and he tested Maxime Ouellet there with that shot.
Mantila can shoot that puck. He's got a good hard shot, and he likes to use it. They love his confidence. The general manager of his team told me yesterday, we rely heavily on him.
He's one of 4 returning players on this Finnish team from the World Juniors 1 year ago. Mantila with the puck here. Gets it over to Ruutu. Drops it down low. Rita couldn't get it in front there. Finland managing 4 shots on goal during the power play, now 5, as they have 1 so far in this one. Tikkanen being pursued there by Reed. And Bomeister picks it up and zips the puck down the ice. Canada will change the penalty killers.
Bomeister used that glass, the boards, in order to get that puck all the way down the ice by a little time.
Jackman and Henhughes, the new defenseman out there for Canada. Morissette coming back. He's out there with McKenzie, the other 2 penalty killers. And McKenzie with the puck ricochets it off the board and down the ice.
When Canada are killing penalties, they'd like to get 3 forward units in. If they're going to take 2 minutes to kill this penalty off, they'd like to get all 3 units in.
Looks like Stoll and Ott are standing up ready to come over the boards. Puck tapped up ahead. Salmelainen coming in, knocked away from him, and Stoll and Ott will come over as Stan Butler again changes up the penalty killing unit. 40 seconds to go on the man advantage for Finland. We are early in the third period. Canada is leading 2-1. Keelan gets it in over the line, intercepted and fired down the ice by Stahl.
Much better job by Canada when they're killing this penalty off at getting rid of that puck, putting it down deep.
Here comes Niskala, steps in over the line. Couldn't quite stick handle his way into the slot, and the puck cleared out.
You know, the Finnish general manager told me that Niskala was really, they wanted him as a defensive defenseman. I said last night's game, he was rushing up the ice with the puck and doing a good job of it. He's done that here today, too.
Odd intercepting the puck and clearing it in, and a strong penalty kill from the Canadian team. Penalized player back on. Now Lundmark up there after. He's up there with Heatley. And Camilleri out of the box to complete the threesome up front for Canada. Schultz up around back of the net. Lundmark looking, centering, scores! Now the Canadian players putting their sticks in the air, but the red light did not come on. And I suspect the puck did not cross the line. My location is at the other end of the building, so I was going by the reaction of the players. Let's see.
Well, Lessinen is this time making sure that he doesn't get caught not knowing where the puck was. But did it go over the line? No, obviously not. Not even close.
Now, they fooled me. That was completely wishful thinking on Canada's part.
Heatley got you, Paul. He put his hands up in the air.
Popovic gets it to the corner. Puck out front. Heatley looking for it. Heatley spins and fires. That was blocked. Camilleri and Heatley both up there buzzing around looking for the rebound. Pillman coming down the ice. Slams it down deep into Canadian territory. It'll skitter all the way up around the boards. Schultz looking for it. Reedon trying to get it out in front. That was Pillman who was pulled down. And here comes Heatley on the way back out. He will just frisbee that puck all the way into the corner in Finnish territory. And Canada will get the change. Hämäläinen playing it back into his own end. Here's Puckinen. Around for Mantala. Bouwmeester bouncing it up there to the corner. Boys trying to get it out in front. The puck rolling and flipping and comes right back to Bouwmeester. Winds up. Big shot. Ripped it wide. McCarthy trying to move it up. Here's Boys. Intended for Torres, but read and picked off by Mantala. Gets it up into the corner for Hämäläinen. Out in front, knocked away, and Canada coming back with numbers through the neutral zone. Torres coming in with Reed, shooting a rising shot, eye high, picked off and held by Kari Lehtinen. Live from Moscow, this is the World Junior Championship on TSN.
Feels good, doesn't it? No shortage of power, no shortage of thrills. These things are practically driving themselves off the lot. The holiday rate break, that certainly helps. Yes, sirree, Bob. You know, I have a brother up north.
Get 0.9% purchase financing or no interest and no payments for 12 months on most 2001s during the General Motors holiday rate break.
So what do you think?
I'll take it.
For a limited time at your Pontiac Buick GMC dealer.
Canada in the neutral zone have to be very careful with those long passes. They've got to make sure that they're very quick and short.
Or they will be picked off, as happened just a moment ago. Here's Spezza up, crashing along the board, tried to center it in front. Knocked away, Ott. Spezza looking for Jared Stoll. Fired it across in front. Ott nor Stoll could get their stick on it that time. Kuhlinen in over the blue line, gets it across, puck fired, point flip there from Huuhtanen, who jumped up into the play on the right wing and had a good chance.
Juha-Pekka Huuhtanen ended up in a good scoring position. As soon as he was dealt that puck by Kuhlinen, then he got that shot away. But as Ouellette has done through the course of this game, he has looked very confident, and he's played his angles well.
Ouellette picking up the shutout in game number 1. Here's Jaspers. Gets it up. McKenzie on the move. Clears it in deep. McKenzie centers it in front. Puck fired, and how did that stay out? Oh, my. The puck rolling right out in front of the goal, and Jason Jaspers shaking his head in disbelief afterwards.
Well, what Canada are showing today, that they've got that balance that they said that they had. Mackenzie's line has been one of the best lines, maybe the best line here today. Jaspers, what a great opportunity he's had. Mackenzie, what a hard worker.
Now the puck dumped in front again. Zigomanis pulled down. He was the intended receiver. Rita in over the blue line. Stop, shoots, and Willett kick that away, flicking out the right pad. Here's Rita with a wrist shot. That one bobbling in. Willett steering that aside, no problem. Hughes taken into the boards heavily. Puck picked up. Rutu trying to get it out in front.
Good block by Barrett Jackman. He cut that pass off by going down on one knee and blocking it.
Played 5.5 minutes of this third period. Canada leading Finland 2-1. McCarthy knocking it down. Feathers it up off the boards. Camilleri looking for it. Kukkinen plays it away from him.
Finland are looking for that long pass ball. Canada are going to have to make sure that they execute the way they practiced yesterday.
Puck skips up over the boards and out of play. Let's take a look between the boards. Brought to you by Molson Canadian. It's a Canadian game. Canada with one power play goal. That goal scored late in the second period by Brad Boys in 1935.
Look at the difference here, folks, on face-offs. Canada are very good and always have been in this tournament on face-offs.
Kukkinen clears it in. This is Jay Bomeister. Up ahead for Camilleri. Picked up by Lundmark, moving in with Heatley. They hit a bit of a wall there at the top of the slot.
Bomeister's such a good skater. When he was growing up, he had the opportunity to practice a lot before University of Alberta Bears ball.
Camilleri. Camilleri clears it up in towards the corner. Lundmark after it. Here's Heatley. And the puck comes out to McCarthy. Up for Lundmark. Heatley was in there offside. That's why Lundmark didn't step back in. Heatley fires the puck in deep now and heads to the bench. Canada getting in a change. And obviously deciding to take the body. Torres has done that a couple of times in this one, and he lowered the boom there. And he will take a penalty for his trouble. A boarding call against Raffi Torres.
Well, Torres just can't resist. When he got the opportunity to take the body, he's got to take the body. And in North America, that would be fine. But in international play and a big thundering body check like that, then he's just not, unfortunately, going to get away from it.
Well, the joke is they call it the bang and crash rule in international hockey, or the big bang theory. If there's a big bang, the theory is Canada's done something to take a penalty.
Well, the Finnish defenseman had possession of the puck, and then he got rid of it.
Koivu with a large cut ripped across his brow. Now, I didn't think that was Koivu who got hit back in the net there. I didn't think it was either. I thought it was Harry Tikkanen, number 4. Well, it wasn't Koivu who got cut as a result of that hit. Oh, yes, it was.
It was. I was wrong, folks. Koivu, as a center iceman, came back to pick up possession of the puck, and he got more than he bargained for.
Here's Rita. Winding it up. He's got some room. He had some speed, but he couldn't get the chance. But a great little burst of speed from Yanni Rita. Edmonton Oilers' first-round pick in 1999. Here's Tikkanen. Mantila looking for it. Now Tikkanen giving a bump there along the boards. Finland on the power play. Rutu went over the line. Offside called on Finland. 1:08 to go in their power play.
Here's some NHL breaking news for you folks. The Murray brothers, Terry and Brian in Florida, have both been released from their position. Bill Torrey, the president of the Florida Panthers, will take over as an interim general manager. Dwayne Sutter will take over as interim coach.
There's Doug McLean, former coach of the Florida Panthers. Salmelainen works it back for Hämäläinen. Finland in the power play. There's a shot. That's a knuckleball that's going to wobble wide. Or a set after it gets it down the ice for Canada with 42 seconds to go on the power play.
Well, Lettinen went out to try to get the puck. He got the puck, and then he ended up falling. And a little uneasy at times when he's been out of the net today.
Golinen trying to work it across in front. That's broken up. Yeah, he hasn't been exactly smooth as silk in the puck at all. But he is a fine young goaltender, only 17 years of age, too. He's not eligible until 2002 for the draft.
And he just turned 17 as well, so he's no doubt very nervous playing here today against this Canadian team.
6 seconds to go on the power play for Finland. So another solid penalty kill from Canada. Puck bounces in. Ouellet grabs it and decides to hang on. Canada leading 2-1. We'll take this timeout.
I hate Team Florida Day. Yeah, no kidding.
Number 16. You guys are late. You take number 5, you take number 8, all
Since
right?
1936, Esso has supported hockey. That's why we've created a unique program where you can donate your Esso Extra Points towards the purchase of new team sweaters. At Esso, we believe
Who wants this one?
there's no such thing as an unassisted goal.
Brad Boyes has the go-ahead goal for Canada with just over 10 minutes to play in this third period. Trying to knock it out there is Schultz. Lundmark being challenged there along the boards by Lettinen. Camilleri jumping up, is looking to pounce on that loose puck.
You saw Schultz going up with the boards. At this time in the hockey game, Canada's defense have got to make sure they use the board. They want to avoid those passes up the middle from deep.
Here comes Camilleri. He's got some room. Gets it in front of the net. Lundmark was right there and was being shadowed by Filman, who will take a penalty for his overzealous checking of Lundmark, at least in the judgment of the referee.
He's going to pick up a hooking penalty, hooking interference, call it what you will. But Lundmark was using his size and his strength to burrow his way to that net. And Filman really knew that he had to control him some way or other. But he got a penalty for it.
So Canada will go on the power play for the 4th time in this game. They're 1 for 3. Their last goal, Boyes' goal, was scored with the man advantage. And this could really be a dagger into Finnish comeback hopes. A power play goal here. Lundmark back to Bouwmeester. Lundmark up for Camilleri. Heatley is the other forward. Bouwmeester and McCarthy back at the blue line. Puck feathered there in front. There was nobody right in front of the goal for Canada. And they'll head back to regroup.
Stan Butler, coming into this tournament after a couple of exhibition games, was extremely confident with his power play, and he had good reason to be.
McCarthy in full flight up towards the corner. Passes it back out in front of the net. This is Lundmark. Trying to work it down low for Camilleri. Gets it there to Heatley. Down for Lundmark. Tried to center it in front, and it is intercepted. It was blocked, and then Mantala picked it up, gets it around the boards, and out. 57 seconds left in the Canadian power play.
Stan Butler doesn't overdo it, X's and O's with his team on the power play. They have a breakout pattern, but once they get to the red line, he allows them to use their creativity.
Kukkinen whacks it down into Canadian territory with 40 seconds left in the man advantage for Canada. Torres cross ice to Spezza, gathering speed in over the line, takes a shot, drops it back there now for Boyes. Schultz tried to tap it back up for Spezza, who was down low, but it's broken up and cleared. Jacqueline starting back for Canada. Banking it in. Boyes coming in to meet it. Schultz is there, hanging back by the blue line. Spezza trying to get it back to him. 10 seconds left in the power play.
I don't think Boyes realized how much time he had when Spezza had possession of the puck. When Spezza's out there and he's got possession of it, come up late, he'll give it to you. He'll usually give it to you when you've got some room.
Spezza giving a bump there along the boards. Torres up there throwing his weight around. Teams are back at even strength. And here comes Finland. Read it. He's In hockey, speed kills. And Yanni Rita was the assassin there.
Edmonton's first-round draft pick, here he goes. He's got good speed, and you can see coming from behind, Schultz was trying to catch up with him. Jackman was too far behind, but when it was a foot race for the puck, Yanni Rita is going to end up winning it in most occasions. He has got great speed and size and strength. 6'1", 207 pounds. He's got Finland right back even in this hockey game.
Canada comes back in. Here's Ott with a shot. Rebound. That's stopped by Linden. He had to stretch out there after Ott took the initial shot.
Zigomanis had the opportunity.
That was Zigomanis with the chance in the rebound. Ott hustling up there after it. Back to Zigomanis again. Out there with Stoll. Hughes covering it back in for Canada. We are tied at 2. And coming down to the wire in this battle between Canada and Finland, they always seem to play a tight game. The last time a game was decided by more than 2 goals between these two teams at the World Junior was 1994, so this is no surprise.
Taste that goes down easy. Coors Light, call it the Rockies.
Holiday season tradition on TSN continues with our continuing coverage of the World Junior Hockey Championship. Canada and Russia, 10 a.m. tomorrow. That's 10 a.m. Eastern. Hope you can join us. McKenzie up there. He's up there with Jaspers and Morissette. Gary Green's favorite line this game.
I really like the way that they've been able to get momentum for Canada, and we know Canada needs that right now.
Jaspers after it, twists away from his man in the corner. Trying to drop it down for McKenzie. McKenzie stepping after it. Rolls around back of the net now. Jaspers is in front, so's McKenzie. Puck comes back out for Bomeister. Things pretty heavy there at the side of the goal. That was Jaspers who ended up being decked.
Nike Skills Development Camps encourage minor hockey players to improve their fundamental skills of the game. Program coaching manuals provide easy, progressive techniques to teach our next generation of great players. Nike, premier sponsor of the CHA.
Played 13 minutes and 29 seconds in the third period. Canada and Finland tied at 2.
So McKenzie's line got the momentum.
Puck comes right back. Camilleri with a shot. And that is stopped and held. You bring up a good point, Gary. Very often in this game, Stan Butler has thrown out that momentum line or energy line and followed it right up with the big offensive line with Camilleri, Heatley, and Lundmark.
Well, and as Bob McKenzie showed you in the first intermission, some cycling that Stan Butler knows that line's capable of doing. This line's got to score.
Falconen taps into the corner. Bowman clears it out. Here's Jackman. And again, if you're unfamiliar with the World Junior Tournament, you can play tie games during the first round, the round robin. Ruutu after it. Falconen, I think he thought it was going to be an icing call. He sort of slowed up as he was moving towards the puck. Here comes Ruutu, stepping in. Philman was looking for that feed, but Jackman tapped it away. Heatley steaming back for Canada. Puts the shoulder down and cuts in and centers it there. Got it out at the side of the net. Camilleri trying to get it out in front, and it was knocked down, but a nice effort by Heatley.
Don Waddell, the general manager for the Atlanta Thrashers, has got to be pretty pleased here today, and he is here watching Danny Heatley.
Jackman plays it up. Popovich looking for Reed, who was breaking through the neutral zone. Barrett Jackman back after it. Up for Rafi Torres. Torres had a couple of crushing hits in this game. Pass up the hit for Reed, and that was offside.
The opportunity that Canada were looking for, and unfortunately they went offside. And it was the right guy to break in to the open. Brandon Reed. Dan Butler's looking for his team's opportunity to break open here. But again, as we've talked about through the course of this game, Finland not only skate well, forecheck well, and are good offensively, they are good defensively, which will make it tougher for Canada.
Here's a chance on the turnover. Hämäläinen with a shot, and Willett bailing Canada out there. And with another stop on the rebound. Oh, Hämäläinen with a spectacular chance. And then Seinoma on the rebound. And Willett comes up very big.
Oh, Hämäläinen is just too good of a player at times to leave in that type of a situation. In last night's game against Switzerland, he got the tying goal, then the winning goal. He just picked that pass off and then got the good hard, well, drive down the middle. He was looking to get a good hard shot away and didn't quite accomplish that.
That was Popovic, whose pocket he picked. And then the rebound came out, and Seinoma got the second chance. Willett was there with the stops.
I thought, first of all, Hämäläinen was just going to drive that puck. Instead, he didn't. Very similar to the Finns on the penalty shot last night, Paul.
Canada and Finland tied at 2. Back in a moment.
Sometimes you look me so hardly. You make me feel like a strong man. But now you're looking me over. 'Cause I'm a man and you know how to watch.
Look with moderation. Tiso, hypnotic suggestion.
Ruutu. Camilleri coming in, tried to drop it back there for Heatley. And the play coming back outside the line, so Canada out to regroup. Time winding down in this one. Score tied at 2. Here's Jackman. Trying to pass it up ahead there.
Canada have got to be very careful on those outlet passes. They've got to make sure they're on the blade of the stick. They've got to be accurate. And the ice isn't great, so they've got to be quick as well. And preferably up the boards instead of up the middle.
Yeah, I thought they'd be sticking with short passes when they did go through the middle. Or do you think they're short enough?
Right now they're just looking for that easy pass, even if it is up the middle. That's fine.
There's a short pass to Lundmark that bounced off his stick. Seinoma steps in over the line. Lahtinen is up there with him, running a little interference going towards the goal. There's the shot, and Willett kicked it away. That was Seinoma with the chance. He's had a couple in his last 2 shifts. And along the boards, knocked down by Lahtinen. Puck fired back into Canadian territory. Seinoma, a draft pick of the Ottawa Senators in 1999. This is Ott coming in for Canada. Tried to sweep one on goal. Hämäläinen on the way back against Bouwmeester, puts the shoulder down and could not get around Bouwmeester. That was a bridge too far that time.
That big long pass to Ott. That's fine.
Ott up there looking for it. Drops it back for Spezza. Shoots. That was knocked away. Spezza trying to use the defenseman as a screen there. And he has the puck along the boards. Spezza dropping it there. Moving in front is McCarthy. Ott going after that puck along the boards, having to contend with Tikkanen. McCarthy. The defenseman up there deep, dropping back to cover for him was Stoll. Here's Hämäläinen for Finland.
Both teams aren't handling or overhandling the puck, and it's for good reason. The ice is really snowy out there right now.
Matthews coming out. Passing the puck ahead. And on the move is Rita. Steps in, shoots. Was sniping for the top part of that net, and Willett took it off the shoulder.
Your feet have got to be moving when Rita's on the ice.
Puck bounces in, just batted towards the corner. Under 2 minutes to go. And Canada and Finland tied, but here's Reed trying to get control of a puck. Knocked down, and Filman comes back for Finland. In over the line. Tries to work it up there for Ruutu. Filman, who was dangerous, particularly in the first period of this game. Can't come up with the puck on this offensive thrust. Bouwmeester moving it up ahead. Boys looking for Torres at the line. Reed comes up. And that was offside. A minute 27 to go. Let's take a look at the game story. Brought to you by Chevrolet. Safe and fun hockey. Lundmark with a goal. 4 points in the tournament. He had 3 assists in the first game. Samalainen with a goal. And Boys with the go-ahead goal.
And the way that he's been playing in this third period, I'd watch out for Rita in the dying minutes here.
Canada up pressing here. Zigomanis, who's seen some extra ice time here in this third period. Number 10 battling up there with Canada in tandem with McKenzie. And the puck cleared up ahead. Lattinen cleared it up, and that was offside. St. Omer was a step over the blue line.
Now the Finns were looking for that long pass, but Stan Butler and his coaching staff made sure yesterday in practice that they practiced as a team, looking for that long pass.
Oh, that was close.
They got in behind Steve McCarthy, but it was offside. But not by much.
Nope. Kukkonen clearing it in for Finland.
But that's a good reminder for Canada.
Now hustling there is Hamalainen. Finnish captain up in towards the corner. Camilleri trying to box him out. Hamalainen along the boards being watched. And Jackman in there to pick up the spoils. Now he's going to have to escape the pressure of Samalainen there. Canada coming back out. McCarthy snaking his way through the neutral zone. Cuts to the outside. Heatley, Lundmark, and Camilleri up there with him. Here's a chance. Puck fired and knocked away. Lundmark was right out there. Now Heatley coming up looking for it. Here's Camilleri. And it's picked up by Samalainen, and he'll come down. 7 seconds left. Long shot. That goes wide. And this game will end in a tie.
Great final rush, though, by Steve McCarthy, the quarterback of this hockey club, the captain of this hockey club, wanted to win so badly he almost was able to do it by himself.
McCarthy drove up and dropped the puck back. And Canada was not able to click in the dying moments.
The Royal Bank Financial Group has developed the Toonie Toss fundraising program, a fun way to raise money for minor hockey. Toss a toonie from the stands. One nearest the target wins great prizes. Proceeds from the event go directly to your community hockey program. The Royal Bank, premier sponsor of the CHA.
So Canada and Finland tie this game at 2, but Canada had a great chance in the closing seconds.
Well, Steve McCarthy's just got a lot of maturity, and he rushed all the way from his own end down the ice and then fed that pass right back to Lundmark, hoping that Lundmark could bury it. McCarthy was so determined, using his skill. He knew that Lundmark would be following up as the trailer. Heatley was there as well, but Lundmark was the man that had the puck.
So Canada and Finland each with a win and a tie in this tournament.
For 2 lifelong friends.
You rode here from Texas?
Yes, sir. The adventure of a lifetime.
I know the old man likes you. That don't mean he's gonna set still for you courting his daughter.
Just became.
Finna get me in trouble.
You are in trouble.
A fight for their lives.
I knew it'd come to this. Don't go down there.
Matt Damon.
I'm gonna make it right. You can make bad trouble for yourself. You start that trouble you never even heard of.
All the Pretty Horses. Now in theaters everywhere.
Get the power of 3, the Intel Pentium 3 processor.
Well, this is it, Bill. The final stone for Al Gilchrist. He's 2 down and
the extension. Good weight. There's the hit. And there's the roll. Now that, folks, that is a great shot. He rolled the center line brilliantly.
My hat's pink, my curling shoes are pink, and my phone is pink. My favorite color's pink. My name is Shorty Jenkins, and I make ice. Dave, you want to take the hand screw and start? First thing, do I ask somebody where the closest Tim Hortons is?
When he's in town, he's in here every morning, early.
Well, I flood the ice, and then I go to Tim Hortons. And then I come back, flood the ice, and then I go back to Tim Hortons. Extra large double-double, please. I go back and forth all day long. It's the best coffee I've ever had.
Shorty's Ice is by far the best ice in Canada, probably in the world.
Really? The cha-cha?
Yes. Foxtrot.
Foxtrot.
And I also like to dance. She's dancing everybody else but me, and I'm very upset. This is where I'm most comfortable, right here, making my hot coffee. Yes, it good. Really instantly warms my hands. If there's a Tim Hortons in town, I'll guarantee you you're going to have good days.
See it, live it. TSN.
Here are the players of the game, brought to you by the Esquire Watch Company. Every second counts. Steve McCarthy, the Canadian captain, gets the nod for Canada, and Tony Selmalainen, who scored the goal for Finland that tied it up at 1, is the Finnish player of the game. We'll have a lot more on Canada's 2-2 draw with Finland from the World Junior Hockey Championship in the next half hour. We're going to start, though, by talking about some other breaking news in hockey, and it comes from the state of Florida, where it's been a state of disaster for the Panthers this year. General Manager Brian Murray and head coach Terry Murray have been fired. President Bill Torrey takes over on an interim basis as GM. Dwayne Sutter, who was an assistant coach in Florida, will serve as interim head coach. The Panthers have just 6 wins on the season, a remarkable result for the Panthers coming off their best year ever last season. Bill Torrey made the announcement a short time ago.
I don't like to make excuses. I'm not whining. But we have been a very damaged team through much of this season. I think there is far more skill and ability in that room than we have seen displayed. But I think our will, our determination, our energy, and our discipline have to improve significantly. And if it does, we can get back into the race.
Well, that race is, even in the Southeast, going to be tough for Florida to climb back into, back here with Bob McKenzie. Bob, you get the sense, and we watched Bill Torrey's news conference, you get the sense that this is not a move he wanted to make for a number of reasons, not the least of which is the Florida Panthers are in the midst of being sold. So it's going to be impossible to hire a new coach. Getting a new GM might be tough, but something had to give. And finally, it was both the Murray brothers.
Well, a lot of people assumed that this move was going to be made a lot earlier in the season and maybe might not include general manager Brian Murray, but just his brother, head coach Terry. And people wondered if the Panther hierarchy would ask Murray to fire Murray, and people were wondering when that would give. But you're right, Gord, something has to give when an organization has high expectations. And the Florida Panthers look to be the favorite to win the Southeast Division coming into this year after having such a good year last year. But Bill Torrey touched on it. This team has been decimated by injuries. Other than Pavel Bure, they haven't had any forwards that have been scoring any goals, and everything that could go wrong has gone wrong for the organization. The Murray brothers pay the price for that, and with new ownership expected at some time in the future, but not anytime soon, it will be very much a lame duck organization with Bill Torrey heading it up and Dwayne Sutter as the interim head coach.
Now, we should point out, too, that the Florida Panthers went to the Stanley Cup Final in 1996, way ahead of schedule, really, for where that organization was. Since then, though, fired Doug McLean 2 years later. Then Brian Murray took over on an interim basis, hired Terry Murray. Now Dwayne Sutter. That's 4 coaches now in 3.5 years for the Florida Panthers. This organization really got off the rails after rat fever and all that excitement about going to the Stanley Cup Final in 96.
Well, it's terrible to say, but sometimes an organization maybe has too much success too soon, and you never want to think that that's a possibility. But for an expansion team to do as well as the Panthers did at early in their life makes it difficult, creates a sense of expectations that are difficult to live up to. And this has been, in many respects, a very young team. But the thing that Brian Murray will be remembered for this organization, I think, will be twofold. Number one, brought Pavel Bure into the fold. Now, you can debate the merits of Bure. He's a great goal scorer. Do you win with a player like that? The jury is still out on that. The Vancouver Canucks fans would suggest that maybe the answer is no, you don't. But he brought an identifiable face. There was some sizzle to go along with the substance in that organization. And the other thing he did in the offseason was he traded for Roberto Luongo from the New York Islanders. And in the short term, that may have hurt the team. Given all the injuries and giving up a guy like Mark Parrish as part of the package to get Roberto Luongo, Parrish's goal scoring might have come in handy for the Panthers with so many injuries. But in the long term of the franchise, that's going to be a great move. And Roberto Luongo looks like he's going to be a great goaltender, but he's not quite there yet. So I think those two things will probably be the legacy, the Murray legacy, for the Florida Panthers.
And we'll continue to watch the situation there. As we mentioned, we don't expect a new general manager anytime soon. And Bill Torrey was emphatic before Christmas that Pat Burns would not be brought in. In fact, he almost belittled Pat Burns as a National Hockey League coach. So it appears that Dwayne Sutter will be the man behind the bench for some time. Well, for Team Canada at the World Junior Tournament, a 2-2 tie with Finland. We'll hear from Canadian players and coaches and have more post-game analysis when our live coverage of the 2000 World Junior Championship continues after this.